Hello once again to all or any that are watching. This is the ThrashMetalGuru. I've got so much on my mind I don't really know where to begin, so I guess we'll just start with the updates about the playlists that are going to be on my channel. So as for starters, I will be separating out a little bit more of projects. I'm going to be setting up at least 3 different types of playlists for my channel as well. 3 different projects that I'm going to be working on. Now, one of these playlists was originally supposed to be on the TheMetallicaguru channel back when I was in either Texas or Arkansas. Most likely Arkansas for that case. But I'm going to bring this one back and see if I can do anything for anything that was written in my journal not too long ago. So I'm going to be bringing back the journal series or the dream series as well, where I talk about the sort of dreams that I've had before and try to make a sense of it. So I've had some advice over some issues that I've been having with constant dreams, so I figured I'd bring that back as well. And number 2, I figured of starting a little bit more of a Guru series, or most likely mainly forward to the Guru series, because I want to finally have a sort of reasoning behind Guru. Now, I'm not saying this in a way to brag, and I'm not saying this in any way to be above anyone, and that has never been my forte, or why do I say that for some reason? It's never been more of my kind of being or personality to be that way. But I use this in the Guru series because I have people who tell me that I'm a very good person when it comes to giving advice to people. But that's just from certain people's perspectives. I'm not saying that as a fact. That is just, it's very crucially an opinion, because I know a lot of people take advice many ways, but I've had some friends of mine who tell me that I've done a great job of helping them out, and there is no point where I say that it's always a finger to point. So I figured I'd start something new up called the Guru series, which we're still having some planning to do, and by we I kind of mean I for that sort of moment, so we're getting on to that. And so as for number 3, it's something else. I haven't quite really come to a full-on agreement or a goal for it to be made. This was going to be more about the stories that I had completed for the DC stuff that I had typed out, and I know, ladies and gentlemen, I have sunk behind that, especially with the Grand Theft Auto projects that I've been working on. I've also been working on Star Wars as well. I mean, believe me. Hold on one second while I just show you very quick about what kind of thing I'm working on. So just real quick, I'm just going to show you the progress that I've been making. So this is the label that I've had for the folder. This is the sort of thing I'm working on for the characters as well. So I've been, thanks to the materials and the resources that I've got information for the created characters and all. And I'm not going to stress over the fact of what Rockstar is messing up. I'm not going to be too focused on that, but anyways, I want to get on to the topic at hand here right away. Ever since my departure from the TheMetallicaguru channel, it's not really a permanent departure. This is more of me taking a next step into making a little bit something original than using the name, the TheMetallicaguru, having the band name in the username. I love that name so much, and I will always have that name for my my original channel back then. This is something I wanted to show that was a little bit more original than using a band's name, and I still love the band Metallica, by the way. And I did also forget to mention in one of the updates, I will also be making a playlist as well, which is also for heroes, and Cliff Burton is also going to be on one of those, and I will be making a video on that as well. Anyways, continuing on. Now, ThrashMetalGuru was the continuation or the rebirth of the TheMetallicaguru channel. But many reasons that I want to explain to you is that why I'm making this video currently about the channel. But there's a lot of things that I want to expand on, including the audience and the people who I'm connected to within this network of YouTube. Whether it be that or Facebook, it doesn't really matter. A network is a network. Whether it be virtual or whether it be in real life, this is where it stems to. It's kind of odd to explain a little bit here about the channel. ThrashMetalGuru, just like the TheMetallicaguru, I love thrash metal, and I love to help people, and I love to be nice. It's that sort of thing. But there was also the dark side of why I chose this sort of thing, and I chose this way to do what I do, and I've explained it many times in many videos, and I've explained it many times in real life too, but I will just say it again, just in case if anyone is new to watching this, that behind me sometimes being, happy, talking in front of the camera, or sometimes angry, deep beneath, though, underneath that happiness, underneath me being, myself, personally, to tell you the truth, I'm an angry guy. I'm angry, even when I'm happy. And that's not supposed to be anything disturbing, anything like that. It's not supposed to disturb anyone. Just saying that I'm always an angry guy. I'm always going to have something to talk about. Sometimes I don't want to talk about it in front of the camera because sometimes I like to keep most of these things to myself. But when I feel like I'm angry about something, that is something when I would like to present most to people, to tell people how I feel. That's the sort of person who I am. That's what I strive on. That's how I feel more motivated to talk about what I talk about when I feel angry, because I get this sense of empowerment. Not in a way to abuse, but in a way to feel empowered about what I have to speak, because as every individual on this YouTube channel, everyone has a voice. Everyone has, a sense of, everyone has power. Your voice is power. See, I think CM Punk could even quote the same thing. I mean, it's not precisely what I'm saying. It's pretty much self-explanatory. But, that's just the sort of guy I am. I wanted to be more someone. I would say I'm more of this rebel with a cause. That's the sort of person I am. And I know people are going to make jokes about that. That's fine. Go right ahead. I'm not going to fight anything about that. That's just who I believe I am. I believe I'm a rebel with a cause. So, enough talking about what's behind, sometimes my happy feelings, or, sometimes sad feelings, because it's anger hidden within. When I do these sort of things like the YouTube Hall of Fame or recommendations for channels, I do this because I have so much people to thank, so much people that I am humbled to be around. Because if it weren't for these guys, no matter if they had their YouTube channels or if I met them in real life, I'm pretty sure a whole lot would not exist, for me. It wouldn't happen. I wouldn't have I probably wouldn't show you the same stuff, or, it would just look completely bland on my channel. It probably still does, but I do believe that improvement has been making well. But without these channels, individuals, groups, doesn't matter. Without these channels, without these friends, without this family, it wouldn't come to this. It would not come to, something this great, to feel that you have a sense of a voice, to feel positive about something. In spite of the fact that I'm always angry all the time, but I feel, though, in spite of the depression that I've been feeling over the nostalgia of years, because I've missed home in Texas and Little Elm so much, that's also been part of the motivation for why I speak, because I feel like I've been away from home for so long because there's so much things that I didn't get to do. I didn't get to pay my respects to people who already passed on. Three to four people within this year or last year that I knew passed on. They died. I'm not going to see them again. I'm not religious, and I'm not going to preach religion here, because like I said, I'm not religious, but I don't care what you believe or disbelieve. That, it's a shame that I'm not going to be able to see those people again. My little brother, my uncle, my great-grandmother, one of my favorite teachers who was Little Elm's favorite teacher, one of my friends who was killed in a car crash. She died, I believe, at the age of 16, and she had a whole life ahead of her. And sometimes I wish I'm that person who died in that car crash. Sometimes I believe that person should have been me. For many reasons, I could go on with a list. But what I want to tell you is that I'm going to say this because I'm not in any way to be rude, to be, morbid or anything like that. I'm saying this because I'm humble and grateful that I live a life that people care for me, and they've treated me, with very much care. They've treated me like family, like I'm home. Don't get me wrong, Little Elm, Texas will always be my home, and I will always love that. I don't care what anyone says. So as for channels, for example, why I subscribe to these channels, like Watch Girls Play, Markiplier, Must Destroy All, Undertaker Freak 1127, Take Shot Action, Rainer and Shades, Skull Ripper, I will put an entire list below, and I don't care if people have feuds with one another. That's not what this is about. I'm not gonna go on and just try to pick sides with people, because as me being the definition of neutral according to Skull Ripper, I can definitely say that I don't want to pick sides, because it's not fair to me, and I can understand that if there is some sort of right and wrong between a certain party, sometimes it has to be issued out. It has to be said, but enough going off the path there. So, I'm humble and grateful that I get to do what I get to do. I get to express what I feel on here, even sometimes if I feel like I've accidentally said something wrong, or I came to a wrong conclusion. I'm still humble that I get to do what I get to do. And, there's just, that I still have a whole life ahead of me, being that even though I'm only 22 years old, I'm glad that I have people loving me. And I know this is going to be dark of me to say, but sometimes, and everyone, don't take this the very dark way of me saying, but sometimes I do wish that either I was killed in that car crash, which I've never been in a car crash before. I'm just saying I would rather take that place to this person, and because sometimes I feel like I'm ungrateful in life sometimes, and that's something that I don't want to be ever at all, is to be ungrateful. This is why I'm making this. A busy mind, a busy motivation is, it's a happy mind. Kind of like busy hands are happy hands. But I have to be humble about what I have. I can't just be ungrateful because of certain things. I can't let things drag me down. You've seen me cry before on TheMetallicaguru and maybe possibly the ThrashMetalGuru. Guaranteed. That's who I am. I love thrash metal. I love being a person who likes to help people. But I also wanted to explain some of the dark sides behind the channel and try to bring that out into the light. I want to be able to achieve the goals that I've wanted. I want to go back home. That's something that I've been yearning for over 3 to 4 years. And I know it's not going to be the same when I get back. And I get that. But like I said, I'm always grateful for what I have. I'm grateful that I have you guys. I'm grateful that I have a family, friends. I'm glad I have everyone. And, and that's kind of that for now. So I want to say to you guys, because normally at this point I would have been teary-eyed, and I'm really kind of surprised that I didn't break down in tears, because normally I would. So I'm just gonna have to say, from Watch Girls Play all the way down to I Am Mr. Cold Productions, everyone in between that list, because there's like a whole list I can go on. Thank you very all for being there for me. Thank you all for telling me how grateful I am, and thank you all for making me feel better about life. So in this sense, I love you all. Have a nice night.